Shalom, Akim. I'm going to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rakah, Kadash. The honestly elders and apostles of GMS who teach and rule well, and salutations to all the Akim and all four on this earth who's pushing his truth sincerely. Shalom, Akim. Want to get into this, what happened, this guy right here is a Marine, and he was at one of those city council meetings, and his wife was recording him, and he was just questioning, well, not even questioning, he was letting them know that we don't want to go to war, we don't want to fight your war for Israel, and he just kept repeating, he was bringing out strong points, and enough was enough. The police bum rushed him, and were carrying him out, and they were pulling him, 3 or 4 of them grabbed him, he pulling him, he kept repeating what he was saying, so much it infuriated one of the senator jumps up, he grabs him and helps the police pull him out. In the midst of that, he throws his arm into the door to try to hold on, and the door closed on it, and broke his arm, holding on and broke his arm, and the senator, they were yelling, "Senator broke his arm! Senator broke his arm!" So they were going nuts, So when the average GI Joe sees these type of things, what do you think is going on in his noodle? The average GI Joe wants to go to war. They're ready to go to war. There's a nigga woman who did a TikTok the other day. There's one, she saying that how good it is to be in the army. She saved her money, this and that. And then you got this other one that was trying to explain, like, I'm just here for a check, this and that. And I was talking to one of my roommates, and he was like, man, I just can't wait to go to war. And she looks over at him like, what the hell are you talking about? He was like, man, I'm ready. My dad died, my grandfather died, I'm ready. I'm like, and she was like, damn, what the fuck am I getting into? But yeah, a lot of you women don't know what the hell you signed up for. You thought the hair weave and nails was gonna keep coming. One of my ex-girlfriend, matter of fact, she was a goddamn, what you call a weekend warrior. She was a part of the reserves. And you couldn't tell her shit, man. Her head was so high up in the cloud, she thought she was G.I. Jane, But wait till these Russian and real troops getting ready to invade and kick your ass. How you gonna really be feeling? This is Mark 3:23. And he called them unto him, and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand but have an end. And when you see, you got to play this video of the Marine guy getting pulled out because the wife turns the camera to the Senate, to the people who are in this council, and nobody turned around, and she's calling them robots. They didn't want to see this stuff. They didn't want to be on camera, nor did they want to see this stuff. So Satan is against Satan right now, man. This Marine dude, how many bodies do we know he killed over in what wars? But now he's saying enough's enough. He's sick and tired of fighting for Israel. Isaiah 9:16, for the leaders of this people cause them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed. America's bases are being bombarded right now because of the leaders, because of that Donald J. Trump, man. They're not showing the real casualties of these American bases right now. They're not even showing, they're not even allowing on the news to show Israel being bombed right now. They said that don't show it. They already told the news stations don't show it, and they also told the people who are recording and stuff over there, when they send the videos into the radio stations or the news stations, do not play it. So how do you see what's really going on? You got to go to these social media sites and see what's going on. I seen the picture on Snapchat or InstaChat, one of them chats, and they showed Tel Aviv getting lit up, man. It looked like a Christmas tree when the different lights are going off and on the Christmas tree from the different parts, whether it be the top part, the middle part, or the bottom part. That's how Tel Aviv was looking to me, man. Like if you're old enough to remember those light bright toys we used to play with back in the day, man. It was jacked up, man. And it's getting jacked up. And that was nighttime, and it was showing the pictures of it, man. But at the end of the day, these leaders in America are going to force a slaughter on the soldiers of America, man. Another thing that you got to keep in mind, that everybody knows this. People are talking about this left and right. The American soldier is not the soldier from days past, man. These new soldiers ain't got no backbone whatsoever. Their life is on Snapchat and dances. They do dances. The nigga woman who was complaining about that already. She said, and she was in the military. She's like, have you seen these men that y'all want to come fight these wars? They're making Snapchat videos. They dancing with each other. This is what society's come to, man. But yeah, Donald Trump is bitten off something that he don't even, it's too much. He can't chew this right now, man. He cannot chew it. And once again, like I say, that this Marine, you know, he although he's fighting and he doesn't want to go to war for Israel and it's what's going on in Iran, he's against, you know, we don't know how much blood is on his hands, man. You know, we don't know how much blood is on his hands. Let me bring this out. This is Jeremiah 51. I'm gonna start at 7. Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain. If so be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country. For her judgment reacheth into the heaven, and is lifted up even unto the skies. You know, so you know this place ain't gonna be healed. We see the Marines going at it with the senators at this council meeting. You know, the people that were in there, they didn't want to turn around and look. You know, they didn't want to see what was going on. They heard the cries. They heard the man yelling about how his wrist was getting twisted up, how he was getting mangled up. They didn't care about that, man. You know, all they wanted to do was hurry up and get their little funky meeting going on, man, and get that money raised to go on to Israel. You know, but like I say, right now we're in touchy times where, you know, you can't say certain things. You gotta watch what you post. And why is that? Because you'll offend these Karzais, these small hatters, man. You know. This is 2nd Ezra 15 and I'm gonna start at 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Real fast, they're not going to regard the kings and queens. That's going to come soon, man. This might be a rally cry right here, man. Seeing this Marine dude get broke up like this and pulled out of there by the senator dude on top of that, not just the police, but the senator dude grabbed the hold of him and pulling him. And you see the arm is stuck in there and he grabbing him up. These type of actions can, you know, his Marine buddies might be ready. Hey, man, we got to go to the next hearing down there. Let's all go down there, you know. And you know, Marine buddies have other Marine buddies have other Marine buddies. So they all compact and come on down. You know? These are the things that could start that sedition among men, man. You know? Not having regard for the princes or kings, man. These are people in higher power, man. You know? So, Matt, we already had a senator get shot, you know? Minnesota went up in flames not too long ago. And they were running up on their city and town officials' houses left and right. So that thing, it can happen, man. It can get real ugly out here, man. It's gonna get real ugly out here, man. The scriptures are speaking about it, man. Let me continue. 2nd Ezra 15 and 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of the pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and the men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation, man. And these are the times we're coming to, man. Different states have different things going on here in America, you know, and all it's going to hit is a boiling point sooner than later, man. Whether it be by your officials, as far as, you know, your Donald J. Trump, you know, pushing for war, or even, you know, just seeing something like this happen, man. Not being able to talk, because remember, in America they say freedom of speech, freedom of speech. America's the only place on the planet where we have freedom of speech. But we find out you don't have freedom of speech when you see things like this happening. What happened to your freedom of speech? It was a facade. It was a lie, and you fell for it. This is where am I? This is Ecclesiastes 14 and 14. And I'm gonna start at 14 and 4. Ecclesiastes 14 and 4. He that gathereth by defraud his own soul gathereth for others, that shall spend his goods righteously. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods, man. You know, so the Lord says you're not gonna take, you're not gonna have a good pleasure in the goods that you're taking and stealing, man. You know, so while these guys are over here fighting, and you got Trump over here seizing oil tankers and going after lands, you know, rewriting their history, you know. These are the things that's happening, man. You know, he's gonna not have any pleasure in them, man. All these tankers he's grabbing, all these different oil basin lands he's seizing up left and right, from Venezuela to now he's over in Iran. They say the CIA already has plans because the Ayatollah, I think, had got killed or whatever in the bombing. So they already have plans to put their puppet into play. But Iran like, nah, we already got our man into play. So America is still going to try to push their high hand over there and try to, you know, do some more blowing up. Because Trump already said that he's not done blowing things up. And so, in my mind, what I think is going to happen, he might let off a low-yield nuke or something over there, man. You know? A little one, just to set it off, you know? Because he did say that he wants to bring them down, man. You know? By any means necessary. So he wants a lot of blood on his hands. With that being said, it was edifying. Shalom, Akim.